Hello, you're welcome to my channel. I'm Pastor Yemi Osinbajo. I want to thank you for being with us. Kindly remember to subscribe to our channel. Also, pass your comments as you deem fit. Share our videos, very important. Please do share our videos. And then press the notification button so that you get notified when we upload our new videos. God bless you. Now, I'm going to be talking about pastor or professor, both combined, Yemi Osinbajo's declaration to run for the presidency come 2023. Is it a betrayal of trust? Is it a natural occurrence? Or is it that there is political game being played somewhere along the line that is understandable to everybody, that is Yemi Osinbajo and his mentor, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu? All these are the questions that will come up to mind. First of all, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, or Professor Pastor Yemi Osinbajo, is I've started hearing of him since my last 2 days, Lagos State University, where I schooled for 11 years, pursuing my diploma in law as well as the degree, which God willing, God helping me, I succeeded in accomplishing. So, Professor Yemi Osinbajo was once the dean of the Faculty of Law of that university. And I think he just vacated that seat when we came in my first encounter with the Lagos State University was in 1990 or so, if I'm correct, 1990 or 91. So that was when I got enrolled for the diploma in law in that university. And what I used to hear about Professor Yemi Osinbajo was that he's just one of those extraordinary law professors in Nigeria. And his area of specialty is the law of evidence. Indeed, he wrote a book on that. I think he wrote some other books too. He also I was told by those who knew him, because when interacting with fellow students and lecturers later, when the people reel out this history, that this is a man that had in his head, offhand I mean, the law of evidence, the entire law of evidence. So wake him day or night. He will not only recite them, but he will interpret them for you. So I've been admiring that man. So I also was kind of fortunate again to have another peep into Professor Yemi Osinbajo's life or personal life when I was attached during our chamber attachment days. That was about 2002 or so, if I'm correct, 2001, 2002, that the chamber I was attached, Ibrahim Taiwo and Co. or something, his younger brother, I can't remember his first name now, but Osinbajo too, a lawyer, a seasoned lawyer, was somebody that we, my group, including myself, were attached to. So, if you look at Prof Yemi Osinbajo and his younger brother, you will see some common traits in them. They are brilliant in their families. So, I admire this man. However, the fame or the measure of Professor Yemi Osinbajo's public life did not come to life until Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu made him the Attorney General now of Lagos State. And Professor Osinbajo performed excellently well. No doubt. He did a lot of reforms. He carried out a lot of reforms of the judiciary in Lagos State. And he was still there when I was doing my chamber attachment. And I have opportunities of also attending the courts during our court attachment process and so on and so forth. So he's very well known. I admire this man so much. One success leads to another. I know that without the invisible, it may be invisible, but without the invisible hands of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed, Tinubu, or the projection of Tinubu, of Professor Yemi Osinbajo, he probably would not have been chosen to be the vice president of, maybe, but maybe not, but it's more likely that he would not have been the right candidate to choose for the vice presidency when that thing became open. So to God be the glory, this man is a high flyer. And another plus for Professor Yemi Osinbajo is that, look, since becoming the vice president, he faced so many challenges, especially of detractors who want to stain him to the point that several times he had to threaten either to go to court or to resign or to allow him to shield his immunity and face the legal battle with his detractors. But I think reason prevailed, and he was prevailed upon not to bother himself that no matter how you are, no matter how good you are, no matter how brilliant, even innocent you are, you will still be accused of something. So you are still deemed innocent. You are deemed innocent until otherwise is proved. So Professor Yemi Osinbajo, to me, is a clean person. And also, even to the more so that he's also a pastor of renowned stature. So, because what I always look at from my personal experience as a lawyer, as a chief, as a pastor, I know that anybody who combines any one of these three, who has any title of in these three circles, either you are a lawyer, you should know the truth, you should be forthright unless you are inherently, uh, you know, or patently somebody who will not listen to what you are taught in your up to your law school. If you are a chief, you are supposed to be a man of justice who sees the truth. The difference between a chief and uh, a lawyer is the stamp of authority given by the Nigerian law school, whereas the chief has his own stamp of authority from his community that trusted him to make him a judge over them. And a pastor, of course. God is truth, God is light, God is justice, God of justice. So everything about God is justice. So anytime I find myself in a situation, these are the things that help me to find it easy to navigate through problems and see the truth and follow the truth in the midst of clouds of maybe lies or maybe uncertainties or maybe fabrications. So I believe that Professor Yemi Osinbajo is also another person whose judgment can be trusted. Another plus for him is having acted the short periods that he acted for. Okay, he has the privilege of acting for a long period, maybe longer than Jonathan did act when PMB, President Buhari, was on sickbed for a number of months, close to 1 year or so. He proved to be loyal and effective, an effective manager. Indeed, today, those windows gave Nigerians an opportunity to assess the capability and the ability of this same gentleman. To God be the glory. I admire him a lot. Now, the race for 2023 is here. Speculations have been there that, he will be running for it. People actually suggested, you have your followers. But, I looked at the situation that, well, it's God that has been acting, playing the script in the life of Professor Yemi Osinbajo. However, I could not make anything out of the calls until today, the 11th or 12th now of April 2022, when I saw clearly in one of the YouTube's channels that Professor Yemi Osinbajo came out to declare his intention to run for Nigeria's presidency. When I saw this, it was like, hey, what's happening? And more so that this is even happening before Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his mentor, whom he knew has interest and has been indicating it through visitations to Obas, before he officially picked up the form. As I won't speak, I'm told he has not picked up the form and he has not made the formal declaration just like Yemi Osinbajo just did. Could it be that it's an outsmarting game? Or could it be that there is a consensus between Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu and Professor Yemi Osinbajo, having met privately? Have they looked at the chances of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu that he's not likely to make it, so that, and if he doesn't make it, what's going to be the plan B for APC? Because if Asiwaju does not make it and there is no credible candidate, yes, a lot of people have been declaring, but none of them has had the qualifications, equivalent qualifications of either Yemi Osinbajo or Bola Ahmed Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. None of them has the, well, maybe because Bola Tinubu has not held federal position and so, but it doesn't matter, because anyone who can rule Lagos successfully, who can manage Lagos successfully, because Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, forget about political gimmicks going on. If you want to talk of real administrator, I think Lagos State has been very, very, very lucky from the days of not Mudashiru, Sir Mobolaji Mobolaji Johnson of blessed memory, to Mudashiru, to Jakande. Jakande is another rare gem, followed by Mudashiru Gbolahan, and followed by, who else? All the Governor Marwa. I think the only governor that Lagos was unfortunate to have was Governor Ilola, ex-Governor Ilola. The most inactive governor that Lagos ever had. That's the government that we know that it was a game of what happened in the case of Agbala Jobi and Edu, that sold out sold UPN also out to Baba Otedola. So his name just reflected his destiny there. So Otedola, Agbala Jobi and Edu were rivaling themselves and so on. So Lagos did a protest vote and gave it out to the opponent. So that was how Baba came in. Baba would have performed, but somehow, before the military took over, but he's an elderly man, and then he did the little he could within a short period. So that's an act of God. But the worst of them all is Olagunsoye Oyinlola. Marwa did excellently well, whoever took over from them till today, except, well, I don't know the performance of Sanwo-Olu now, because even if he had performed very well, he failed in the way he has managed the people, especially the youths. NSAS saga. So that's a total minus for him. And I know he was also collaborating with Bola Tinubu, of course. Whatever happened there, that may have dented his image and dented even Bola Asiwaju Tinubu, that I myself have, a great respect for. They didn't do well in that area. So that's it. So could it be that APC has seen that, there is chances that if Bola Tinubu is not accepted or by the primaries, it might make APC to lose its chances. So it's a plan B. But is it a plan thing between, is Bola Tinubu aware, or did Yemi Osinbajo and his mentor agree on this thing? Those are the questions. If they agreed, then, because not anything can happen in politics, maybe a good plan B for them. But if they agreed, if not, brethren, to me, I will see the case as the case of Akintola versus Awolowo repeating itself. betrayal of the highest order. If Ahmed Bola Tinubu is not aware of what Yemi Osinbajo is doing or did before he did it, then it will be a case of betrayal of the highest order. But like I said, I'm not aware. So I don't know which one is happening, but let me just say it the way I have to balance things because I'm not an insider in this matter. So, because the reason I'm saying that it will be a case of betrayal is that, of course, Ahmed Tinubu has not hidden his interest. And everybody sees him going around to announce this and so on and so forth, even though he has not picked up the phone. But if Yemi Osinbajo, for whatever reasons, without an understanding between the two of them, decided to outsmart Bola Tinubu, that would be too bad. That would also erode the respect until Bola Tinubu reacts. Honestly speaking, I'm just waiting for that reaction so that I would stop being shocked as to what has happened. Even be that as it may, well, they may not be able to make such arrangements public. But one thing I know is that if Yemi and Bola had agreed that Yemi could go, then the confidence that they have for one another will remain. It may not be clear to us, but you will not see Bola Tinubu reacting negatively for political expediency. Because the way things are going, the way I'm looking at it is that it seems that there are serious opposition for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has been my candidate from day one, irrespective of what anybody is saying. It has been my choice. I've not changed my mind because I've seen him in action and I've seen his performance. I see that he's capable of running this nation well. But his background may work against him. I don't know. And I think he's defending that. It depends. Only God can say or can tell who will be. So it's a case of Yemi Osinbajo and Bola Tinubu. It's a case of two destinies, struggling with one another. But every other candidate there, they are qualified to be. Even my brother Ayo Fayoshe. We have not heard from Fayemi yet. Until we hear from him, we wouldn't be able to comment. But if it is a strategy by APC to say, okay, if Achiwaju Bola Ahmed, if he fails, then it may fall into a wrong hand, and they decided to choose a tested hand, because as Yemi Osinbajo was trying to say that he has the entire nation is his constituency, he has related with them, so he understands them. That's the chance that Bola Tinubu has not had, because he has not served at the federal level. So that's the edge that Yemi Osinbajo has over Bola Tinubu now. So if it's an agreement between them and eventually Yemi Osinbajo wins, all is well. But if it is not, the kind of acrimony or problems that happened between Awolowo and Akintola is going to repeat itself. And that will be unfortunate for the Yoruba race again. I just pray that they both agreed. Because my thinking is that without their obtaining Tinubu's consent, yes, he has the fundamental right to want to declare for himself and so, but it's not all that is good that is expedient. It is not all that is possible that are doable, in the sense that there are some considerations, especially mentor and mentee relationship. If anything must change, must be by mutual understanding. So let's watch. Let's watch. Politics is a dirty game. Sometimes you bite the finger that fits you. After all, Alawa Kalak became the governor of Oyo State when all was not well between Baba Adedibu and Baba Ladoja. So anything can happen in politics. But the way I see it now is that let's keep waiting to hear from Bola Tinubu. And I think at the end of the day, the poll will determine who is chosen by the people. And it will put PMB or the entire Northern Caucus into, because people are already speculating that people are now, the North is now preferring Yemi Osinbajo to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If that is the case and PMB is in alignment with it, it will be a betrayal also, because there is no doubt that PMB knew the mind of Bola Tinubu. Because wherever PMB tilts, honestly, I believe that's where the North will tilt. And in the South here, of course, we know that there are a lot of oppositions. This Yoruba race thing, backstabbing one another for Tinubu. So it might be Yemi Osinbajo might be able to cut across the North, and whatever is left in the South, they might share. Even in spite of the Southern backstabbing and so on, I still don't believe that Bola Ahmed will not pull the crowd here, will not have more votes. And then if you look at the North, the only plus is that whosoever PMB backs will carry the North. We need the strength of the North to be able to win the presidential seat of this nation. But the Lord will help us. My own concern is it's not even as to who wins now. If it is Rotimi Amechi, I have confidence in. If it is my brother Fayose, the only fear I have with him is his temperament. There's no doubt that he's sound, but his temperament might be called to question. I'm afraid of that one. Eating barley with people and it's a political gimmick. It's not a condescending as you want us to believe. It's not condescent. They are all political games. Anybody can go around and be eating barley with, but is it universal? Is it consistent? So, he's my brother, but he's qualified. If he's the one, good luck to Nigeria. If it's Wike, one thing I know is that whether you tilt to APC, whether you are in PDP, the two forces that are ruling the nation, you have brighter chances. And both of them are, honestly, Rotimi Amechi and they are strong enough to do it, but the only thing is their geographical spread, whether they can really cover the entire nation in terms of votes. As and I'm not even really out to our brother who has been struggling for a while, Showore, representing the voice of the youth. How do I rate Showore? Apart from what people are saying about him, everybody has his own flaw, but I think he has a clear vision and He has the push, the youthful push, and he has proven himself to have managed Sahara or whatever well, and doing things differently. So you can do things differently in Nigeria too. But the chances of the youth for now is very slim because of the geographical spread thing. You see, at the end of the day, may God help Nigeria. Most often, it is not the right candidate that gets the ticket. And this time around, we need the right candidate to get the ticket. But who is now the right candidate? Who are now the right candidates? That's where the secret is. It is the hands of God. May we not be unfortunate again in this country, because we still have a long way to go. Even if we are the right candidate now, who is that right candidate now that would service? We are spending 2.6 trillion to service. Is it billion now? 2.6 billion or trillion naira to service debt, and we are already owing 80 trillion or 80 something billion dollars, US dollars. If we are using 2.6, as we will state at that figure to service the nation's debt every year, and we didn't take more money, we didn't take more loans, but we're servicing that consistently, it means we're going to spend over 40 years before we can get out of the woods. And incomes are getting dwindled. These are the things that these people must really see. Otherwise, as I said in one of my videos, they will get there as a saint, they will come out as a sinner. May God help us. However, let me say, because I've been so angry myself when I saw these pictures, that Nigeria is not even worth voting at all. It's not worth doing anything. But the truth is that when you give up, then you depreciate. Because the truth is that if you vote, what will be will be. If you don't vote, what will be will be. Supposing you don't vote and things get better, are you part of the decision that makes that thing get better? If you vote and things get better, won't you be happy that you are part of the people that caused the change that made things better? Though either side, either way, if you vote or you don't vote and things get worse, it's only you that will exonerate yourself. Say, okay, I have to ride. I'm in neutral ground. And God does not like neutrality. You just have to take a side. And as a Christian, I believe that there is hope for this nation, bad as things may be, because I know God himself will intervene at somewhere, but God requires us to take action, to continue to do what we can, to indicate what we want. And God will come round and give us what he has for us. And that thing will be good. So Nigeria will be better. So I've changed my mind from not voting to say, well, come 2023, God sparing my life, I'll be one of those at the polls, especially the presidential polls, to cast my vote. Whether my candidate wins or it doesn't win will not matter. I leave that decision to God's hands. And I won't stand aloof. I won't be in a situation where because when you don't vote, you have succumbed to hopelessness. So I don't want to remove my faith. What is left for Nigeria is faith that Nigeria will be better. And I hold on to that. God bless you, fellow Nigerians. God bless you, brothers and sisters. It's good that I express my mind on crucial matters of this nation. Thank you for your attention. God bless you. Please remember to share this message extensively.